Next up on our CBC Spring Sports Media Day tour is the Harvey Red Raiders baseball team. Head coach Ryan Delaney. Coach, welcome. I appreciate you and the guys taking some time out of your day to preview the season. Why don't you start by giving us a quick overview? What can we expect out of the Red Raiders this season?
Hey, thanks for having us, Steve. We appreciate you doing this every year, and we're glad to be a part of it. So we're coming off a season where we made a lot of growth from the year before. We lost 7 seniors coming into this year, but you'll hear today from these guys and myself that we're ready to take on the challenge. We're going to pick up where we left off last year and, try to use some of our biggest strengths. I got 2 of the fastest guys in the CVC sitting right next to me. So they're ready to pick up where they left off, and we're ready to continue to build the program.
Losing 7 seniors, that's never easy, especially when you're bringing in a bunch of younger guys. But how's the transition gone with those guys kind of filling some big cleats, and how's that shaping up?
Yeah, it's gone pretty well. What's nice is, yes, we did lose 7 seniors, but we also had some younger guys that got some valuable experience last year playing varsity, including 2 freshmen that played varsity last year, and a few sophomores also that played varsity. So they've got some experience. So the transition has been pretty fluid. A lot of these guys have continued to take on those leadership roles, and I'm excited about their leadership and what they've done so far. So the transition has been good.
All right, Coach, I'll come back to you after I talk to the guys. Let's start all the way to your right. For the folks at home, just introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions you're going to play this year.
Hi, I'm Ryan Delaney. I'm a sophomore this year, and I'm going to pitch and catch.
Hi, Ryan. Oh, no, we'll start with Ryan, and then I'll come to you guys. But Ryan, so yeah, just looking at this season, how excited are you for your sophomore campaign?
I'm pretty excited. I feel like this year's going to go well. I think we can make a big improvement from last year. So,
as a catcher, that's a big, tall order for a sophomore. How are you handling that responsibility, just kind of being the quarterback of the infield and calling the pitches?
I think pretty well. I think it's definitely a big challenge because we had a great catcher last year, Connor Bates. And what do you have? 8 pass balls?
8 pass balls
in total.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be some big shoes to fill, but I'm ready for the challenge.
All right, and then talk about yourself as a pitcher. What do you bring to the mound? What kind of pitches do you throw? What kind of velocity do you hit?
So I'm low to mid 70s, and I throw fastball, slider, curveball, changeup.
And then how do you approach your hitters? Is it something where you try to, overpower them, or is it hitting spots?
So I try to focus on hitting spots more, focusing on getting guys, hitting them on the inside corners so I can then expand as the strikes go up.
Who are some of the other pitchers that are going to chew up some innings for the Red Raiders this spring?
These guys right here, and then a few other guys like Joey DeAlfredi and Urain Morales.
All right, let's work right to your left. And for the folks at home, name, grade, and positions you're going to play.
Hi, I'm Trent Hall. I'm in 11th grade, and this year I'm primarily going to play shortstop and pitch. I'll also get some work in the outfield, mostly when Jacob over here is on the mound.
All right, so Trent coming in junior year and losing a bunch of seniors. I have to imagine you're one of the guys coach is leaning on to provide some leadership. Is that a role you've embraced?
Yeah, it's definitely a role that I've embraced. It's something that I'm trying to learn a little bit more and kind of get comfortable in with a leadership role. I've always been kind of more like leading by example, but this year I'm really trying to get vocal and help with that leadership role.
Again, same thing with you. Just talk about your pitching. What do you bring to the mound?
So I throw probably high 70s, low 80s is where I'm at about right now. And I throw the same pitches as Ryan. I throw fastball, changeup, curveball, and slider. And mostly rely on the switch between a fastball and a curveball. I started on the mound in the first game, and that's basically what I threw all game. But for me, it's very personal and day by day. Some days I'll feel a lot better to throw a slider and a changeup, and probably won't work that curveball as much. That's what I was feeling opening day, but that's where I'm at.
You've got a young catcher there to your right. How's that going? I mean, how confident are you and the other pitchers in his ability to call the game and move that glove when he needs to and kind of lead the pitching staff?
Yeah, I feel great, especially when Ryan's behind the plate. I have a ton of trust in him. I love the pitches he calls. I'll be standing up on the mound and thinking about what I want to throw next, and it's like he's just reading my mind because he's calling the exact pitch that I'm thinking about. I trust him to block any balls that may go in the dirt. I know he's fast. His arm has came a long way, especially when it comes to throwing people out, so I love having Ryan behind the plate.
Outstanding. Good luck this spring. And lastly, all the way to coach's left, name, grade, and positions.
Hi, my name is Jacob Kanya. I'm a senior, and I play center field and pitch.
I'm glad we got an outfielder there. Let's start there. Let's talk about all the outfielders who are going to be out there chasing down some balls.
Well, there's me in center field. Then my two guys right for our first game were Rodrigo Flores and Braylon Kimbrough, both juniors. And I feel very good having them next to me out there, and I feel comfortable that we can get to any ball out there and have it be sort of a no-fly zone.
The CVC, especially now with the expansion, some new teams, how does that kind of, all that competition you're going to face, how does that inspire you and your teammates just to kind of put in that work and focus on the fundamentals so that you can be competitive?
It inspires us a great amount. We love competition, and when we see competition, it makes us want to do better so we can be better than the competition. And I feel that having that mindset is going to provide us with a great defense in the outfield.
What's been one of the biggest challenges your team has had to overcome in this spring?
Biggest challenge for us, I would consider it probably being, what would you guys say? I don't know. I think it's the mental game for us.
Yeah, it's really definitely a lot of the mental aspect of the game because we've already talked about, we lost 7 seniors, but we have a ton of guys that are coming back with varsity experience from last year, and watching them grow has been great. I have a lot of confidence in them. So it really just comes down to the mental aspect so that you can just let yourself play naturally instead of thinking about it so much and getting in your head and get there.
All right, Coach, just coming into a new season, the CVC's kind of readjusted, so you guys bounce around divisions, it seems, every other year. But just looking at what you've got on your squad, how confident are you can be competitive in the league?
Yeah, so I feel really confident. Like you said, the CVC, it's constantly realigning and things are happening. But I look at the teams that are coming back in the CVC, and I know that every game that we play, we're going to have to give them our best. And that's what we expect out of our guys, and that's what we expect from them. They're going to come in and give us their all. They're not going to take us lightly. And so we need to continue to have that tough mentality, that next play mentality, so that we can compete with these teams that may have a little bit more playing experience than we do.
I asked about the pitching staff, the catcher, the outfield. Talk a little bit about your infield. Who do you have out there, and how's that unit coming together?
Yeah, I feel a lot better about our infield. Going into the season, that was one of our points of emphasis. We needed to get better defensively. I always, speaking of Trent here, coming into the season, I really thought that Trent was going to be a staple in our outfield. And we go in with the fastest outfield in the CVC. And looking at how everything came together, and even from Trent's own motivation and conversations with him, we felt that we really needed him to help anchor our defense on the infield. And so I really feel confident about our defense. We got Christian Callan playing third base, as well as bringing a young sophomore in to learn the position as well in Urain Morales. We got Trent at shortstop, and we also got some depth there with sophomore Aiden Engelhardt, who's a middle infielder. He can play both spots, shortstop and second base. So he will hold it down at second for us also. As well as junior Miles Vanek. He's going to get some time there, as well as different positions out there. So we have some versatility. We got some young guys, and we got some guys who have more experience. At first base, we got Brandon Bildstein. He's another senior, and Brandon, we kind of know him around here as our clutch player. He always came up in big spots. And his growth, I want to see a lot of growth this year defensively from him. And he's put in the time and put in the work to be a solid first baseman for us. We also have some depth there with another sophomore, Jake Boehm, who's coming along nicely and learning the ropes as a first baseman at the varsity level. So our infield's looking strong with Ryan anchoring us behind the plate. I feel really confident in his ability to call a game and just know what's going on. He's a very smart baseball player. And I can't go without mentioning Robert Boykin, another one of our seniors. He's going to be all over the place. He's our utility guy. He's going to catch when Ryan's pitching, but then he'll see time all over the field, including second base and the outfield. So I'm feeling really good at where we are with the infield, and I feel good about our depth when, as you know, Steve, with high school baseball, guys have to play multiple positions. So when Trent's not playing shortstop, I feel good about putting Aiden there and sliding Miles in or having Boykin go in. So our infield's looking pretty solid, and we look to make a big improvement from last year.
Outstanding. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you and the guys taking some time out of your day to preview the season, and best of luck to you this spring.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.